現在進行中の調査もありますので。
He is a victim.
It is illegal here in California. Mizuhara says that he didn't know.
Big fly, Ohtani-san! Ohtani leads off the bottom of the sixth inning. There's a drop!
I'm very sad and shocked that someone who I'm trusted has done this.
This is Shohei Ohtani, probably the most popular baseball player in the world at this very moment. An athlete with the eyes of the baseball world all on him. But why? Is it his impressive record as a pitcher and designated hitter that have earned him 2 MVP awards in the American League? Or could it be the $700 million contract between him and the Los Angeles Dodgers? Unfortunately for Ohtani, none of those are the reason his name is appearing in the news as of late. So, what's the reason he had to call a press conference like this? Well, Shohei Ohtani has been embroiled in a very serious scandal, one that involves sports betting, illegal gambling rings, massive debt, contradictory stories, and $4.5 million stolen from his bank account. As the MLB opens an investigation into what exactly is happening, especially as everyone involved tells a different story, Ohtani has made his clear, definitive statement on the matter. So, let's take a look at what led up to this press conference and why the sports world has turned all eyes onto Shohei Ohtani and that massive betrayal by his friend. To know exactly what happened to Ohtani, let's look at his relationship with Ippei Mizuhara, Shohei's personal interpreter, and someone the famous baseball player considers a close friend and a brother. Well, he did. See, Shohei Ohtani and Ippei Mizuhara have been practically connected at the hip for the past 6.5 years. Ohtani is rarely seen in public without Mizuhara at his side, ready to help translate for the baseball superstar. Their connection began when Mizuhara became a translator for the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters English-speaking players. 18-year-old Ohtani was playing for the Fighters as a rookie that season. When Ohtani was signed to the Los Angeles Angels, Mizuhara went with him, now working as Ohtani's personal translator. It was very clear they had a successful and professional bond, but their relationship and friendship went even further than that. Mizuhara had become a part of Ohtani's life. The translator driving with Ohtani to the stadium, the pair working out together, and Mizuhara assisting Ohtani in the recording and documenting of his training. It's not really a surprise that the two would become so close. And that's where the trouble began for Ohtani. You see, Mizuhara was allegedly a massive gambling addict and partook in a significant amount of sports betting. Getting involved in an illegal gambling ring, Mizuhara racked up a significant amount of debt, approximately $4.5 million, to an illegal bookkeeper named Matthew Boyer, who happened to be under federal investigation. Mizuhara was unable to pay off these debts to Boyer with his own funds and turned to the funds of another, Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani and his representatives have stated that Ippei Mizuhara committed massive theft, taking $4.5 million from Ohtani's bank account to pay off his gambling debts. Of course, these are allegations and merely one side to a multifaceted story. But Ohtani and his team are adamant that this is the truth, clearly stating Ohtani's lack of involvement in Ippei Mizuhara's illegal activities, as well as Ohtani's lack of knowledge about the $4.5 million taken from his bank account prior to its removal. With all eyes on him, Ohtani wants it made clear that he has not been involved in illegal gambling and never allowed Mizuhara to access his money. Although some may look at this and say case closed, this isn't the entire story, which is why some have read Ohtani's statements with a skeptical eye. When this story was first being reported on, Mizuhara released a very different statement. When asked by investigative reporters, Mizuhara stated that Ohtani knew about his betting and the $4.5 million he had racked up in gambling debts. Mizuhara then claims that Ohtani gave him the money willingly in an effort to help his personal translator get out of debt. On March 19th, when giving a statement to ESPN, Mizuhara said, "Obviously, he wasn't happy about it and said he would help me out to make sure I never do this again. I want everyone to know Shohei had zero involvement in betting. I want people to know I did not know this was illegal." This claim that Ohtani transferred the $4.5 million to pay off Mizuhara's gambling debts has since been denied by Ohtani and his team, who say that Ohtani did not send the money and was less aware of the situation than Mizuhara has stated. On top of that, Ohtani and his team refer to this situation as massive theft, indicating that Mizuhara stole the funds from Shohei's personal bank account. Ohtani states that he learned about the gambling debts during his first game in South Korea, but was unaware of just how serious it was. Mizuhara was speaking in English when addressing the entire Dodgers team, which isn't Ohtani's primary language. So the language barrier caused the baseball player to not grasp or understand how serious the situation was. He clarifies that he did fully understand the severity of Mizuhara's gambling debts in a later one-on-one conversation. Ohtani went on to clearly state that he never agreed to make payments to any bookkeeper regarding Mizuhara's debts. It makes sense that Ohtani would want to distance himself from this entire situation, as sports betting is explicitly illegal in California and can incur serious penalties. In California, those who partake in illegal gambling, including but not limited to sports betting, can incur up to 6 months in prison as well as fines up to $1,000. Not only that, if Ohtani were to have been involved with sports betting that happened to include baseball, the sport that he plays and has a direct effect on the outcome of, he could additionally be punished by MLB and banned for life. Given the potential of charges like this, it's no surprise Ohtani and his team would want to help set the record straight as clearly as possible and shift any and all blame to Ippei Mizuhara. As of now, the Los Angeles Dodgers have parted ways with Ippei Mizuhara, siding with Shohei Ohtani and allowing him to continue playing as the 2024 season begins. MLB is now currently investigating the situation and will eventually have more to say on the matter. In the meantime, lots of questions have yet to be answered, as Ohtani's statements to the press fail to acknowledge several key aspects that have been cited by skeptics and critical viewers of the situation. Most importantly, how did Ippei Mizuhara have access to Ohtani's personal bank account? For all we know, Mizuhara was acting as Ohtani's personal interpreter, an occupation that does not require access to an individual's finances or the ability to conduct a wire transfer with someone else's account. This was one of the biggest questions since Shohei claims that Mizuhara took the funds directly from his account to pay off his massive debts to Matthew Boyer. At the press conference in which Shohei and his team addressed the allegations and the massive theft, there was little justification or even explanation as to how those funds made their way out of his account, simply that they were taken out via wire transfer in $500,000 increments. Another question that has been raised and subsequently not answered is how Ohtani did not notice these multiple $500,000 withdrawals from his personal bank account. This is far from an insignificant amount of money, even to someone with a $700 million contract, and one that would raise the eyebrows of anyone with awareness of their own finances. This wasn't even brought up at the press conference or explained in any of the statements made by Ohtani and his representatives. Ohtani made reference to his confusion about the incident at first, the first conversation he and Mizuhara had about the gambling debt and the money needed to pay it off. So, perhaps the answer to this major question lies there. But still, it's another element of the story, as told by Ohtani, that makes some skeptical of how involved or not involved he was in Mizuhara's illegal gambling. Here's something else to think about. Why was Mizuhara able to allegedly lie so openly about the incident and Ohtani's involvement in paying off the debts of his translator? For a team like the Los Angeles Dodgers, one that no doubt has public relations professionals and staff that are hired specifically for situations like this, why would they allow a narrative that is allegedly false to be broadcast so publicly before Ohtani or any representative of him or the Dodgers team can get their side of the story out? Now, I don't really think that shoots holes in Ohtani's telling of this story, but this mismatched telling of the events and the confusion that's come from all of this calls into question the validity of any side, including Ohtani's. The situation regarding Shohei Ohtani, his translator, and the $4.5 million taken from the two-way player's bank account raises more questions than answers. From the statements already made, it seems as if the court of public opinion is siding with Ohtani and his telling of what transpired. But his statements do leave a lot to be desired when it comes to understanding the entire situation. For now, we wait until the MLB-led investigation is done, and we can hopefully get some more light shed on this subject, shrouded in mystery. What do you honestly think of this whole situation? Do you think Ohtani was in the know and is now backtracking because of his PR team? Or is Ippei Mizuhara just a liar? Let me know your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.